Hi, my name is Ramonda Hamilton, and it's so lovely to be here. Dr. No One. There's so much going on today with the rioting and the looting, and the most importantly, the murdering of American citizens. I don't know. It just that sometimes that things are so bad that you don't know how to feel or what to do about it. I think we all should just come together and work with the police to root out ones who have issues with following police policies, because all societies need some type of law enforcement. All societies people will not follow social norms or the law all the time. But most of the crimes and most of the things that people do that are against social norms are not things that require the death penalty. Things that could be taken care of more with more compassion, sensitivity. I know that police officers, they have this mentality that they do. Not only do they have the mentality, but in many places they need to show strength. But the strength, if if you are showing strength by a gun or some type of weapon, you are not showing strength. That is not strength. If you can gain someone's respect or at least get someone to comply based on your inner strength and the way you relate to them, is much better than say, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to shoot you. If you don't do what I say, I'm going to violate you in some way. That is not strength. It it just like that with a child. You want that child to obey you because you say so. Because that a lot of times when you tell the child to do something, it's for the good and betterment of everyone and for the child's safety. But in society, even grown people will sometimes break the law. If it's nothing, just something as small as jaywalking, but something as small as jaywalking could cause an accident, could get you hurt or someone else hurt. But that is a misdemeanor. That's not something that requires a police officer to attack someone. Because after a police officer gets your name and address and maybe your birthday, because sometimes people have the same names, and sometimes the people with the same names could have lived at the same address at some point. So after the police officers get that, receive that for a misdemeanor, something that would doesn't require jail time, the police officers just say, had a win. Just getting that personal information, because it doesn't matter if that person wants that ticket or not. Even if that person doesn't even take the ticket out of the officer's hand, but that officer have that camcorder where that he offered the ticket and the person refused the ticket, but still the person will be responsible with paying that fine. So if the police officer walk away, both people live for another day. Both people keep their dignity and respect. Because that I here's a lot of people say you must respect the police officers and stuff. The police officers need to be trained that many people in society would not respect you. It it's just the fact that you are a person of authority. Just plain and simple. It's not that it's something specifically for a police officer, but you represent the government. You represent someone that I consider myself grown. and you telling me what to do. Some people have an issue with that. But that's not your problem. That's not your issue to try to correct their thinking. Your issue is to keep order, to keep peace, and to give people their tickets. If they refuse, have evidence that they have refused the ticket, right? And go on by your business. Because they still will receive their fine, and you don't have to make them sit there and say, "Oh, thank you, officer, for giving me a ticket." Or with the Mr. Floyd death, I mean, what other way did that police officer think this way he was going to end? Kneeling on someone's neck, even if you don't um, crush the bone, to strangle people. Still, you don't have to crush anything to stop the blood from flowing that would kill someone. The coroner said that it doesn't look like he was strangled. It's more than one way to strangle someone. You can strangle someone and without leaving a mark, except for maybe bruises, but you don't have to have any broken bones, broken anything to strangle someone to death. And medical examiners, they know this. I'm a layperson. I'm just anatomy and physiology teacher, and I know good and well that I can choke someone to death, cut off their airway without breaking their hyoid bone. I don't have to break that bone for to strangle someone to death. You mean to tell me that you're gonna let someone get away with murder? It doesn't matter if you pro police or anti police. I, for one, am pro whatever the superior authorities recommends. Because I'm a Christian woman, and the Bible tells us to respect the superior authorities, and I do. And maybe someday I may not be myself. I may say something or do something that the police officer may perceive as disrespectful or rude. That doesn't mean that he should kill me for it. Okay? People every day disrespects me and rude and won't obey. You know, children won't obey all the time. But even though he doesn't obey me when I first tell him, but he still receives his punishment. If I felt that he needs punishment, he knows to go to the corner, and he hates it. Exactly with a police officer. You're gonna get that ticket. You're gonna have to pay that ticket. If the judge decides that you need to spend some days in jail, you will spend some days in jail. But the judge decides that, not the police officer. We seen on national TV murder, and I know I have a good feeling that the police officer is not going to see receive any consequences. Maybe loss of a job, and he just go get another job. Um, they're not going to convict because that police officers, unlike every other citizen in the United States, they have this strong presumption of innocence, regardless of what the evidence shows you. Still, they can be found innocent of any crime. I remember years ago, they caught it on video of an old white man. He was laying on the ground in the snow, and and he said, "I got my arms on, I got my arm," and he still shot him and killed him. I mean, when I think of him, my heart still aches. This is an old white man that they murdered. So it's not just black people that getting killed, even though black people are disproportionately murdered by the police. They're more likely to be murdered by the police. But that doesn't mean that the few whites that are killed don't matter. It's just that black lives don't seem to matter because that more likely when police kill black people, they're not gonna get punished. But white people, if they kill or hurt a white person, more likely they're gonna get punished one way or another. It's just that black lives don't seem to matter because of the ingrained racism in America. If something happens to a black person and you think it isn't no big deal, but if the same exact thing happens to a white person, all of a sudden you feel some negative way about it. Some even if nothing, even not anything, just a little fear, you will know that you're biased against blacks. Because that if you feel good about a black person being punished like that, you should feel just as good when a white person is punished like that. But I don't think this is deeply rooted in a human problem. Because I feel it doesn't matter if white people are the one in power or blacks are in power, Asians, Native American, it don't matter what group of so-called people are in power, it will always be the ones in power will mistreat the minority of the population. Because it's almost seems like if that in every country you go to, it's the minority that get all the bad rep to justify mistreating the minority. How can that police officer in Mr. Floyd's case say that he was fearing for his life? Even if it doesn't matter if Mr. Floyd had a gun, which that he's not even being accused of. It doesn't matter if Mr. Floyd was fighting, kidding, dancing, no matter what. At that moment, they had him restrained. You see my child? Oh, he threw graham crackers at me. You see, he's just 2 years old. Wish he needs to stop. He could just ask me for something. I guess I wasn't not paying enough attention to him. And he was my teacher. But anyway, get back to Mr. Floyd. It doesn't matter what he did before or why they had him on the ground at first. Kneeling on someone's neck is not excusable. It's inexcusable. After he got that man to comply, he could, you know what, you can make somebody stand up by standing on their shoulders hard. You know, why did he have to, he was standing up there with his hand in his pocket like the police officer, like, I don't care what, if you do see me do this, I'm the man. I'm in control. It's about ego. And I don't care. He is crying for his mama. I don't care. Even his fellow police officer, one of them, asked him to turn the man over and do something different. He was just ignored. But he should have did more than that. He should have pushed that officer off of that man. I know when we're in that stressful situation, we say he probably was scared or something, but he should have been more scared for the man on the ground. That's my 2 cents.